stages and flashing lights, music and cameras. They call it the good life. School of Roses, baby.
Got the one and only singer, songwriter, Mr. Christon Gray. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, man. I'm good. I'm doing very well. Welcome back to Toronto.
Thanks, man.
I know you've been here once before. Did you get a chance to perform when you were here last time?
Yeah, actually, on accident, if that makes any sense. I was here for Artist Propaganda, was on tour, and I stopped by to say hello, and then ended up on stage. Turn up.
Is that a normal occurrence for you to show up places and then a concert breaks out?
It's happened a couple times. Yeah. I don't plan it. You know, I literally just went to support, and then it was a song I was feeling, and I just kind of like went to the side, and Prop was on stage, and he saw me and was like, "Get up here," and I was like, "No, get up here." So it looked real obvious, and then so I try to stay in the shadows though when I go to other people's shows.
Okay. We know you know about the basketball team because we're making a little bit of noise right now.
Yeah, a little bit of noise. I'm not bitter. We can discuss it in any moment. I'm not bitter.
Let's just do it now. Let's do it now. Man. So you know what? Being a Toronto-born guy, definitely support the Raptors. I'm super excited about the team success this year.
I am too. I am.
That's good. I like how there's no animosity.
There's no animosity. You know, I'm happy for you guys. I'm glad where you guys are. It gives us some time to rest and prepare for next year's championship. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, you guys can rebuild your morale.
Now, for those people out there who don't know, you're from Columbus originally?
That's right. Columbus, Ohio.
Shout out to Ohio.
Shout out. We got a lot going on right now. So, in reference to Ohio, we also have LeBron James. And Cleveland Cavaliers.
LeBron came back this year.
Some other people who are
back.
There. Yeah.
He still got Kyrie. Recent addition J.R. Smith.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I'm a LeBron fan. In terms of individual players, I think he's at the top of the game. The record doesn't necessarily reflect. What do you think about the team overall? Like, how are they gonna kind of come back and gel for the second half of the season?
I think Cleveland's had some struggles, man. A lot of new things. I do feel like I'm on ESPN right now, but I think they've had some struggles just over time. I mean, but this is a year where you got to expect that. I mean, LeBron's tired. He just moved his family back from Miami. Right. You know, he's got a lot of mental pressure, I think, on his mind, and got to kind of let him get through that. Is a big step all around, and so I think him being the team leader, people are waiting for him to kind of get to a consistent spot, and then things will take shape. And you got a new coach who's just now, coaching in the NBA. I kind of let some of this stuff go on, and next year we'll be where you guys are right now and beyond. We'll probably beat you guys out a lot next year. So
we'll
this
see.
year you gotta let it happen.
We got a real strong team this year, but I don't get a chance to speak to guys from the Ohio area a lot. Yeah. What were your thoughts? Were you still a diehard LeBron fan when he was in Miami, being like an Akron, Ohio guy?
I was. I was. I mean, I'm really not a Cleveland Cavaliers fan as much as I'm a LeBron fan. But it helps because LeBron's from Ohio.
Right. It's
so
like
I'm
the hometown.
Still like. It's not like he came from somewhere else and then I became a Cleveland fan. Yeah. Like, he's technically kind of from Cleveland, right outside of it. So, when he left, I was Heat all day, bro. Yeah.
But now it's Cavs.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I'm a LeBron fan.
Yeah. Right. So you follow.
He's the next thing that we've had in the league since Michael Jordan, in my opinion.
I'm with you.
So
I'm with you on that one. I'm definitely with you.
You got Kobe.
Yeah.
But then you have LeBron, so I've gotten uber excited, and it only helps that he's from Ohio. So
hometown guy, got to represent for the home team, right?
Man, especially when we have LeBron James.
Definitely. So when we first met you earlier this evening, we introduced ourselves and we broke you off with a little piece of Toronto, a little piece of Canada, the Timmies.
Yeah.
When you think about Toronto, when you think about Canada as a whole, I know you've only been here once before, but what comes to mind?
Some of the pronunciation of the words, out,
Who talks like that?
Not you guys so far, but some of the people, you know, they got out going on. They got what was it, Again? Is that one of them? We got you got A every once in a while. You know, it kind of pops up. You got some other stuff that it's not weird. It's actually very correct compared to how we speak in the States. So that really threw me off in a good way. Yeah. I don't know. It seems mad like chill up here. Like everybody loves each other. Like it's really diverse, but you don't find much. It doesn't feel segregated. I really like that. So if it wasn't so spread out, I would maybe consider moving here. Yeah. But
I was gonna say, you know, when a lot of artists come to town, whether it be from the States or somewhere else, we usually kind of have to get them acclimated a little bit to the weather. But you're from Ohio, you know what this cold is all about.
Yeah, I mean it was 14 degrees this morning, and with the wind chill it was like -4. So I felt like I was just flying home.
Yeah, welcome to Toronto. This is Chris knows exactly what we're talking about.
So
like.
I mean, I'm good with it. Yeah, you know, I got one of my space boots
and we were talking with our producer Ryan earlier. Maybe we can organize maybe a trade for the shoes, because I know you were feeling his a little bit. So maybe
not so much a trade, just a confiscation of sorts.
Yeah,
more like just let me.
Yeah, it's all right. You know what? He lives in the area, so he has other shoes at home.
I figured you could just make that work for me.
Can we stop this interview, please?
We'll figure something out.
You got keys to his house.
Yeah, we're gonna figure something out.
Yeah, it will happen, and at least one pair will be gone. So I got some slippers or whatever at Chris's house. He let me walk around, and we can just make sure you got something on your feet. Those are fresh though, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Fresh kicks.
Yeah. School of Roses.
It's almost a year.
Almost again. This 2015 is a weekend. It still feels fresh, but it's almost a year since the album came out. How have things changed since the album came out for you?
You know, it's kind of generated a new level of momentum for me, which is good. I got a lot of feedback, a lot of rich feedback from existing fans, newer fans, and fans who hadn't really paid attention to necessarily everything that I was doing. Kind of came back when they heard School of Roses and like, oh man, I didn't realize what direction you were going in. By and large, a very positive response. Okay. Not much negative. I mean, other than what was expected. I knew it was a risky album to release in a Christian market, but then also as an R&B album. So I think even some of that feedback over time has become more positive because people are just starting to understand really the depth of the album. Right. So musically, it really helped reestablish me as a singer, being again like part of the Christian hip-hop scene. Like everything was hip-hop, so I'm honored to feel somewhat of a, you know, kind of something like a pioneer when it comes to introducing the R&B sound to that culture, to the subculture. And it's a lot of pressure going forward, just trying to figure out what my next move is and how to create music that stays consistent with that sound, but also introduces even more elements to who Christon Gray is. So I think it's been a great road so far, and a lot of good things have happened.
Now you've gotten great comments and critical acclaim from media outlets like BT, Jet, Essence, a few different publications. Has your approach to music or approach to performing changed?
Maybe improved, and I think about it a lot more. I think there's a time as an artist that I think every artist spends where they're just starting to learn who they are, and then there's a time where you figure it out and then you try to refine it. And I'm definitely in a refining phase where I've found my lane, and so now it's just learning how to drive in it a little bit better. So that feedback kind of solidified some things that I knew already, and then some of it was brand new. You know, it gave me a lot to think about. So now I can take it to the stage. Had the opportunity to perform in a lot of different types of venues. So, you know, one weekend I may do a show at a church, and then the next weekend I'm doing SOBs in New York. Yeah. And those environments are totally different. So how do I remain consistent as a performer in all those without losing myself? And that's just been a fun challenge. So I think it's been great. The acclaim part of it, it's just been humbling to see, like I said, by and large, a positive reception of the music and the message. I mean, it was a very vulnerable album, and I spoke from my heart. It was a risk because I didn't know how people were going to take it.
Right.
But seems like a lot of people could relate to it. So.
Now you mentioned coming from a faith-based or a Christian background in terms of music.
Yeah.
When I hear the term Christian music or Christian hip-hop, a lot of the times there's a certain connotation that comes along with it, with the genre, with the style. Have you experienced any pushback, or is this something that sticks in your mind when you're creating this R&B album? You know, I don't want it to sound like, I don't want people to think it's just a Christian album, or you have to, you know, be a fan of that genre to listen to it.
Yeah, so for anybody in the mainstream market, I don't want them to feel like they're, you know, doing me a favor by listening to the Christian Guy's life experience album,
right.
and you know, really they're listening to a sermon on wheels or something like that. And at the same time, I don't want the Christian audience to feel like I'm going to be church friendly. I don't know. It's just it's a human album, and I think it really draws both crowds. So the connotation I'm aware of from both angles. I'm aware of the connotation from the mainstream side or secular side of the industry that says that you know, a lot of Christians are hypocritical, and this has nothing to do with music, but just in light of what they see, a lot of scandals and ways to kind of debunk what we believe. I just saw recently an article that kind of talked about just the ills of the Bible and how inconsistent it is, and really it was more so a call for a lot of Christians to study it more. On the flip side of that, I see the church, or the Christian market, whatever you want to call it, the faith side of the industry, faith-based side of the industry, a lack of willingness to accept progression in the way we present the message. A lot of Christians only see one side of the gospel, and it's not a bad thing. I think, you know, when it comes down to matters of salvation and it comes down to how that affects the heart, that we should focus on certain parts of the Bible, but at the same time, there's another side. And so I'm saying all that to say I don't like to put God in a box or even try. It's a dangerous thing, and then ultimately that's one of the key ways you can lose yourself, because there's a lot that I want to express that whether it's accepted or not from either market, I can't help it. It's who I am. So.